Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. I hope you had a great weekend like me. I always enjoy my weekend with my family, with my kids and my wife, and we kind of go out and contribute to the economy. Isn't it? I hope you've done your part too, but we also seen the increased cases in the MCO. Will they impose the next SOP? That's also the question too, which is a great ponder for this week. So let's hope not. The economy, as I said before, if you've been watching our breakfast show with Money Talk with SmartRobie, you will know we need the economy to continue to move higher. Hi, I'd like to welcome all of you to our breakfast show, Money Talk with SmartRobie. I'm your host, Martin Wong. So I could hope that you could share this video in your timeline so more people can enjoy some of the information that I will share with you that will help you to make money, especially when what we are seeing in the stock market. No doubt, last Friday, we have the Dow Jones falling. And this morning, as I checked the market, correct? Okay, so let's, we checked the market. The market is actually up slightly, 0.67%, depending the time frame that I was looking at. But let's look at the story that we have for you today. All right, okay. Now, today, our story, the first story is definitely going to be on, that's right, our moratorium. Now, the moratorium, I think I have been talking about it for several times. It's not the first time, those of you may have known. So it's all about the extension of the bank loans that we have. Now, there are two stories in here which I mixed from last Saturday and also today. Now, the first story covered about the moratorium extension, which I will summarize for you so you don't have to read and figure out all this. That's what we do it in the morning talk show, sorry. So what it simply says is this, right? Now, if the bank were to increase the continued free, no interest kind of situation, then it poses a great risk if we extend beyond the 30th of September. But I do believe this is because it's played up by the SME Association, which looking, hopefully for another 6-month extension. No, most small businesses, they find it very difficult to tahan, especially everything all closed down. They have to cut staff and so forth. So of course they will ask for a moratorium that they don't have to pay interest. But don't forget, a lot of the banks, which this story talks about, a lot of banks are heavily invested by EPF, by Khazanah, by KWAP. Many of you have retirement money in there. So if the extension do exceed, then you will see some of these, EPF especially, you will see some of these drop off in the payment that you get next year, the dividend payment. So in my opinion, I don't think they're going to push it in here. But also, very important is that during the situation of the COVID-19, 90% of the borrower did accept the offer. So the story actually continue on, also going to, if you as a borrower decided to extend, then it's a case-to-case basis. Then you just need to talk to the bank, say that, hey, I don't have enough money to bank in or loan in. What should I do? Then you can extend. They will do a restructuring of the loan, but your credit score will be affected, which means you will consider as a defaulter. Just like you did not pay your car loan, the guy come to your house and tow your car away. It's something like that, those kind of things. But having said that, if the moratorium is not extended beyond the 30th of September, then, everything is okay, right? It will peak next year, but the bank can still withstand it. I think that's the message. It's just like more of the PR work that the government, the banks are trying to do through media to tell people they're slowly taking away that kind of loan in there. How many of you are affected by the bank moratorium? Just type inside there, mono, okay? Mono, then I'll know, M-O-N-O. I'll just appreciate that at least some of these news are impactful to you and I understand in there. So if you like what you hear, do give me a thumbs up and continue to share. Let's move on to our next story, shall we? So the next story falls around, right? The rubber glove. Now, last week, we talked about the rubber glove, right? And rubber glove start making. So those of you who are first time, now how many of you who are first time? If you are first time listening, type 1 and let me know. I do want you to go and take a look at this video that I done, a very good one. We cover 4 counters. It's just that some of you who are coming in first time, do take a look at this video, and a lot of things I talk about plantation and so forth, which one of the story I will cover also in here. At least you understand the background behind it. So next time when you look at plantation, or you look at technology stock. Yeah, I heard this guy, by the name of Martin Wong, and he talked something, and it makes sense too. I think that's a message I want you guys to really learn from here, rather than try to get information from all over the places. What we do is try to put the macroeconomics so you will also understand too. So just take a look at this, and also subscribe to the YouTube there, and let's move on to our next story. Okay. So next story talks about this one in here, about the smart money doesn't like stock but it like gold. Okay, I apologize for the thing in here, but the story falls around is gold is doing very, very well, and there's a lot of story behind gold. But what I want to share with you is a very important statistic that you see inside there. Gold versus the KLCI going back to 2019. Gold has done pretty well, almost up 48%. 2009, and it's shot above 1900, and KLCI. And those of you who was my client previously on some of those accounts, who have known I advise on gold, I still have my gold too. I haven't sold any of my golds. Gold is a hedge for inflation, and right now, the media are playing to the hype. You should have gold. If you listen to the guy behind, I have a TV inside here, which is a Bloomberg. He also asks you to get some gold. So again, that gold question will come to you. You're going to be hit by your friend. Hey, you go buy gold lah. Hey, you go buy gold, kijang, emas, all this lah. Some of these things we will cover in the masterclass. I'll give you my point and how I've done my gold for the last 10 years. It's done pretty well. Okay, it's a hedge. Now this chart you can see here, gold versus the KLCI, which a way to diversify out of here, especially the older on a senior. Many of you who are listening are from that senior side. You always thought about gold, but then gold is not cheap lah. Let's put it in there. There is a gold account, then there is a electronic gold, all those things, and there is a gold passbook. There is a public gold. Which gold you want to go? It's something that we will talk maybe another topic if gold gets a bit higher. But I just want to mention it so you know in perspective. Now, why is gold higher? Now, gold is higher partly because of the US-China Cold War. You know that a lot of the Chinese warships are in this part of the Pacific Ocean, near Philippines side there, and they're intruding. Malaysia is trying to have a stake over there. But also COVID-19 and in an impending market crash. If the market were to shut down again, especially now we have the COVID-19 second wave, which is Malaysia are seeing these cases out there. So even in our masterclass that we intend to do, I tell many of our members just be aware of the SOP. We might just go fully Zoom, but if we can, we'd like to do the physical class, which as much as I like to. All right, which will be on our August, just next weekend. Okay, now the next story goes into a story which was written by a very good business analyst, Miss Yap Ling Quen, and she's a star writer in here, been with them for a while. So it talks about this company called MMC Corp, which haven't been covered much, but it is still, unfortunately, still lowly rated because of the ROE in here. We can check it out after this, okay? But basically the story, let's take a look at MMC Corp, okay? And hit that one. So this basically talks about, let's look at the stock fundamental in here, where they have a book order of 6.3 billion as of 31st of March and a cash balance of 2.5 billion. Not too bad, And of course, COVID-19, same thing with most companies, they slowed down and they are recovering back. So post COVID-19 has going to recover and it's going to help their revenue moving forward. With that, they are also pursuing 4.4 billion of contract next year. And right now, they are both the port operator Northport in Klang here, and also they also built a lot of the tunneling project, the MMC tunneling for the first one, the LRT. Now they're doing the LRT3. So all those restarting. So they are seeing the money coming back in here. Hopefully the ROE and the charts looks. Let's look at the chart. All right, and let's see here. Okay, so stock comment and charts. The charts looks very interesting. It's not heading up. It's not like the Top Glove, not like the tech stocks, but construction. But it has a good support here at 72 cents. Wow, 72 cents for a company that has 2.45 billion. Is only worth 72 cents. Sometimes you think of it, wow. what happened to this company? And if you look at cash, some of those other companies less, but they shoot up much more. But it's interesting. It has a good support here at 72 cents. And let's go back to the fundamental, which I've just shown here. Wow, for our dividend lover, remember we talked about it on last Saturday, the dividend strategy. We have number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 strategy. You still remember? On last Saturday, we talked about the market trend. That's right. Now, a lot of the talks that I do, previously, they are all interconnected, because it's like a full course. If you can follow all our programs, then you can pretty much know the strategy that I'm trying to teach you guys totally FOC, free of charge, right? That's right. So remember, it's a strategy 1 where we talk about, all right? If not, just go back and watch the last Saturday talk. It's a 6% dividend in there, something you all should look forward in here. Nice base building at 72 cents, not too expensive, but lowly rated at 2. Now, there was one of our members who bought GCB, which is slightly higher, pays better dividend, and they're into cocoa business. Again, go to type up the GCB and you check it out. The charts looks pretty okay, and started to jalan the GCB. All right. Okay, let's move on to the next story that we have for you here. Right. All right. Is no other than Naim. That's right. Now, Naim is looking into building a lot more affordable housing, and that's why they invested 30 million in what we call a IBS, industrialized building system for Miri and people. How many of you are listening from Miri? All right, if you're listening from Miri, that's pretty good too. And you will see that, you know, Miri and Kuching, and they are really booming. I mean, this is where the big fight is. Also, you notice the governments are trying to get more Sarawak to be more Malaysian. That's why you can see a lot of the political party moving over there, and it's really a big boom. So Naim is taking advantage of this, which are large land bank. You know, they are looking at almost affordable housing, 300,000 for the next 5 years, about building 2005. So they have this sort of a cement combating industrial building, will speed up a lot of things to make it affordable. 300,000 in my opinions are quite affordable. Depends on the size. I would think in Kuching and in Miri, these will be landed property. But in Malaysia cannot get 300k lah. Maybe Seremban can. That's where Matrix Concept, one of their property builder out there, are doing that. Is this what I'm saying true? Some of you who are in the property business care to comment in there, and I'd like to hear your comment too, in whether some of this information that we get from news coincide with the reality, especially those of you who work in this. Now, how many of you are in the property business, or some of you are consultants? Do let me know. Type it in there and give me a thumbs up for the good work that I'm doing in here. Okay, I'm not a property expert, but when I analyze the news, I'm sort of, you know, look at the charts and sort of give me yes or no where you can buy or not. All right, let's move on to the next section. Right, it's no other than plantation. Now, which, you know, I've been talking about last week, why we see this plantation stocks is moving up. And also, many of you who are listening are remisers too, and dealers from respective broker houses. I think some of the information that I have is also good. I highly recommend you use this information to advise your client, because as I also read over the weekend, many 60% of Malaysians still rely on their remisers and their dealers. So information, but they don't know where to get information. They don't know how to advise their client. One good way is to get them to install SmartRobie and get them to watch Money Talk. If you don't want that, then you take this information and try to advise them on a regular basis. I think one of them listening in here do take snapshot of what you see here and they forward to their client. I think that's okay. You can always take my material and forward that, but just give me an acknowledgement. That's all, right? I think that's also good, because these days information is a lot. What we want to do is how to make money from it. That's more important. So you and me, we all can benefit together. All right. So on this story on the Sarawak Oil Plantation, it's all talking about replanting. Now remember, last Wednesday we talked about the 4 plantation stock. I talked about why plantation is like a golden goose. Remember, golden goose lay golden eggs? So this is around the same story. So you know, if you listen to what I've said before, the logic behind how the plantation becomes so big in Malaysia. You know, if you just drive out from Klang Valley to the south, to the north, plantation everywhere. Correct? Now, so it's all talking about the Malaysian really reusing CPO, plantation palm oil, to really boost up our economy. So this story talks about the 2,000 hectare, I think Sarawak Oil Plantation, many of their palm oil is more than 15 years, 20 years. So they're all very tua. When you old, you are not that productive. So they are trying to recover some of this chop, but also bad lah. When you chop all the plantation, what do? You burn them, isn't it? And then September coming, isn't it? Remember what happened always to September? You remember what happened to September? Smog everywhere, right? Pollution, had to wear masks, all right? This year, same thing also. Hopefully this year not lah. Last year, every year got, this year got, maybe because of Indonesia have the, still in the deep state of COVID-19, maybe they won't burn the palm oil, but every year they burn palm oil. September, you will see, now is July, because we still have a little bit of monsoon, so a lot of raining, but September coming soon, okay? So here, will they do that? We don't know, but definitely from a Sarawak Oil Plantation, replanting is important for them. All right, let's move on to the next section. Okay, it's no other than our premium alert. Now, last Friday, we selected 2 stocks. Okay, we selected 2 stocks, and they are Karex and also Prolexus. Hasn't really moved much. Karex are selected because of a rubber glove, and it did dip down, but usually many of our premium alert took some time to move. Remember the week before we selected Omisty, Versatile, they are started to move, and TSH, all those plantation stocks I did not select in premium alert because I picked them over on Wednesday. So these are the ones that I usually talk about, are things that technically are very sound, the chart setup is good, and you have a stop loss, so make sure you know all these stop loss things. I know some of you who are listening, there's one gentleman in here text me, he said he used to be a value investor much on the long term. When he see the kind of result that was produced by premium alert, or many of those of you who are broker or dealer who is pitching idea to your client, make sure they have stop loss. Okay, now while the market is bullish, it's good, they make money, but when the market U-turn, I think that's the most difficult part. Even I was talking one of the top prominent analysts in Malaysia about the rubber glove. Many people will come in because of the rubber glove. Remember last Saturday I talked about the market go up because of 2 stocks. Okay, do you know what are those 2 stocks? I think you all know, right? Hatta and Top Glove. When these 2 big stocks are U-turn, they will, we don't know when. It's gonna deal with the vaccine that's made by COVID-19. You know, the relationship with that. You have Moderna, you have Pfizer and Sanofi. These are some of the big pharmaceuticals who are making them. But when the vaccine comes out, it will impact it, and also WHO, which usually make a statement that is contained. But right now, it's not contained, right? And continue to follow our program as I update you more too. Okay, so for the stock pick that we picked today is AppAsia. Okay, never mind, we hit one more time, premium alert, you can see, all right, in here. So we have some new stock, SLP, that's that's the one, Tome Gold lah, Tome we all know lah. Tome very volatile, one pot shoot up because of gold, because people write gold and then they think come down. AppAsia is the one stock I like today. So we hit that one, okay. 0199. Okay, there we go. So we hit the stock price, and there you go. So stock price is up 7%. Let's look at the stock chart, which I want to look at the stock chart. And now the next slide I have here in this presentation will be the setup. So just watch it. It's a very short point. I want to keep everything short to less than 15 minutes because most of people, they don't have time frame to watch such a long thing in here. And this is a nice chart. So AppAsia, I like it. Why? Just look at the video that I have on the next slide with the QR code. Watch that one. The more elaborate one, though, for those of you who want to upgrade, you can certainly come to our masterclass, which we'll do next weekend. Okay, so this is a good one, AppAsia. Let's look for another one. Okay, if I can find another one. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go down. Okay, and Tome, Excel Force, Borneo West, that's a Goring stock. Secure Metrics, below what 10 cents, is a bit volatile, so usually I don't want to pick that one. But let's look at Borneo West, 0098. This one is a Goring stock, okay? Now, Goring stock, what do you mean by Goring stock? Goring stock, it's not, how do I put, it's one of those volatile stocks, usually you want to keep less than 2 weeks, okay? But up 13%, maybe you know what, wait for a pullback, okay? Okay, let's take a look. The stock in here, hit that one. Borneo West. Ooh, 1 bar push up. Okay. This one is already up too much already, 14%, so I'm not going to pick it. So for today, I'll just keep to AppAsia, and we'll come back Wednesday to check out Karex as well, Prolexus, and see how much they run. If you watch that video, which I'm going to talk about the next slide here, okay, right? One of the advice I give is that have a bit of patience. Haha, okay. Now it's also important, what I want to share with you here is also some of the back tests that since we have done our morning talk show since the 16th of June. You'll see many of the picks, you can see on the really small column in there, have an average about 9%, all right, 2/3 of the time it wins. And you can see also on this side here, let me just bring the mouse, you can see my little arrow, a lot of them actually fall to, how many frequency? There's about 15 of them. 15 of them out of the many picks that I've done. 15 have more than 15% return. Only two has more than 10% loss. These are all the range. I try to bucket them down. 0 to 5%, you have about 5. So it's pretty good, because also don't forget we're in the bull market, so everybody think they're genius. Right? Because the market goes up, they buy anything, right? But also be careful, right? I always said before, what we try to do here is education, so you all are in the right foot and never get caught on the wrong foot. All right, let's move on to our next section in here. Is our Market Compass 3 Talk series. Will continue again. We've done the first one, so you have not watched it, go over to YouTube or Facebook and look for the guy with Elon Musk, because we talk about technology there. So he's a representative of the innovation. So this Saturday we will continue with the talk again. Now some of you may say, hey, there's a holiday, I need to go for it, but no worries, you can always watch the recording. Right, that's the one we focus. Now, to give you a bit of a background to what we're going to do this Wednesday, another special talk too. So it's more like the knowledge and the skill that you needed to understand the Saturday talk. So it will be a great talk, the DNA of the 100-to-1 share winners in Bursa, Malaysia, and how you can find it. Now this is a very good research material that we look back, looking at counters like Hatta, QL, Syntax, Inari, Padini, why they became 100-to-1 shares. Okay, 100-to-1 shares simply means from 1 ringgit become 100 ringgit. That's right. So, and how long is the time frame? We're going to look at some of the characteristics of this. So make sure you catch me this Wednesday night, 9:30. A great show, especially for you. And do share this video and tell your friends. And we want them to really know the test. And don't be, don't be overexcited by certain counters are moving up, but understand the reason behind it. I think that's very important thing. What are the core that bubbles this kind of stock goes up? And if you understand them, I'm sure you're able to find one on yourself too. All right, so that's this Wednesday too, the DNA of 100-to-1 share winners in Bursa, Malaysia, and how you can find them. All right, so don't forget, those of you, again, do join our Telegram here, right? We are up to 5,000 users inside here, a lot of free information, and to keep updated with my coaches, Zach and Arif, Marina, and also Fu will keep you updated and never be left behind. So that's all I have for today. I'll see you on Wednesday, the Money Talk and the DNA 100-to-1 share winners too. All right, bye-bye. Do share and have a great day.